Don't tell me you're a twin. How could that be? How come you never said anything? Why am I seeing this? Why am I just getting to find out? So you both have been playing me. Long ago, in the beautiful city of Abuja, there lived this beautiful couple, Mr. and Mrs. Okafor. Mr. Okafor is a doctor, Mrs. Okafor is a lecturer. These beautiful couples were too busy at work. In fact, they were known to be workaholic. They devoted all their being to work. So, because of the pressure coming from both families, they had decided to give giving birth a try, conceiving a try. So they had made up their mind that they were going to give birth to just one child, at least a child that their both parents were going to see and stop disturbing them to give birth. They had it in mind that after giving birth to this child, probably it would take another 5 years of achieving their dreams to give birth to another. So Mr. and Mrs. Okafor decided to have a baby. But as luck may have it, during the period of pregnancy, Mrs. Okafor found out that she wasn't just carrying one baby, but she was carrying two. She had hoped it down that it was going to be a boy and a girl. If her hopes and her dreams come true, she won't have to give birth again. But when Mrs. Okafor gave birth, she had given birth to two handsome baby boys, and they were named Ugochukwu and Ugobueze. Those sons were born rivals. Ugochukwu and Ugobueze, Ugoskwe. They competed for everything. Not because their parents made them do that. They were born rivals from their stomach. Who could hold his urine for long? Who could urinate the longest urine? Who could attempt all the mathematical questions without failing anyone? The list keeps on going and going. They competed for everything. The only thing they never competed for was their parents' love. When it comes to academics, they were excelling well. Their parents had made up their mind not to put them in the same school because they were always competing, and the competition was really getting bad. They had taken Ugochukwu to a different school and Ugobueze to a different school. But the moment they come back from school, trying to do the assessment, it was more like a competition. Oh, your school is backward. My school has taught me this. Oh, your school is not this. Their parents got tired and they couldn't just wait for the boys to grow, hoping that when they grow up, things were going to change. But did it? I'm not sure it did, because those boys kept on competing for life. One unique thing about them was that they hated the same meal and hated almost the same thing. Both the Ugos were allergic to crayfish, shrimps. They didn't really even like eating fish. But the worst of it all was crayfish or shrimps. They really hated those things. And when it comes to vegetables, they hated ugu leaf. Their mom did not even know why. So any food that was made with ugu leaf, both of them would refuse to eat it. Because Mrs. Okafor had given birth to twins, she had made up her mind to train the boys like women, more like they should know how to carry out day-to-day activities. They should be able to cook for themselves and so whatnot. Ugochukwu was a bit willing to learn. He followed his mom to kitchen whenever she called him. Ugobueze wasn't into it. He did not even like the stress of going to the kitchen. But he was very, very good at criticizing a meal. If the meal wasn't good, Ugobueze was going to give his verdict that no one even asked him for. He was very good at being a critic. Whereas for Ugochukwu always wanted to learn how to make good meals for himself. They were both doing well for themselves. They were both engineers doing well for themselves. They even had their own company, and as their parents had put funds together to help develop a company for the boys. The both parents, who had worked tirelessly all their life, came together and got a very big company for them. And the company was doing well. These boys were perfectionists. They were handling different sectors of the company, but they were perfectionists. The time they get to sit and see each other was mostly Fridays or Saturdays. In fact, more of Saturdays. Fridays are when they come together to talk about business, what had been done for the week, how to finalize any deal that wasn't finalized. Saturdays were when they sit down to talk about themselves, the boys, what's going on in your life, any new thing and whatnot. That has always been the way they've lived their life. Ugochukwu had a very beautiful girl who he greatly admired, but out of that time, he had not yet asked her out. Her name was Isioma. Isioma practically knew almost everything about Ugochukwu because they went to the same university and they've always communicated with one another. One fateful afternoon, while Isioma was in the bank, she was trying to carry out a transaction. She had seen Ugobueze, but she thought that was Ugochukwu because those boys are identical. And because Isioma and Ugochukwu were still in the process of knowing one another, they had not even gotten to the part of saying, oh, I am a twin or I'm not. She saw Ugobueze in the bank and quickly ran to him and called him, Ugo, how are you? How are you doing? How is everything? Ugobueze didn't want to sound rude. He was a bit confused because he did not know this lady, but this lady knew him. He just smiled and answered to her questions. And when she was done with the bank, Ugobueze was also done, and she quickly suggested the lunch. And when they sat down, the way she was very specific about the meal made Ugobueze feel like she knew him. She knew everything that he was allergic to, the vegetables, the shrimp, pasta without shrimp, plain tomato. When placing her order, she was very, very specific. Ugobueze couldn't help but smile to himself. Deep down, he felt this lady always had a crush on him. Who is this lady? He's sure she's not someone from his company. Most people from their company knew nothing about their personal life. He was mesmerized. He was amused. He wanted to get to know this lady more. After lunch, he quickly asked her, are you heading home or anything? Are you going back to work? Isioma smiled and said, no, I'm going to see my friend, Chika. Obviously, you know her. Who did not even know who this Chika was. Like, he was confused in the scene, but he did not even know how to respond to her. She felt like a very sincere and calm lady. She meant no harm. He was just trying to understand who Isioma really was. After lunch, Ugobueze dropped her at a particular spot and they departed ways. And the next day, she met Ugochukwu. But she didn't want to start bringing up about the fact that they had lunch or anything. They just conversed about themselves, how things were going, what was the next step in their life, and whatnot. Things were going on well. But gradually, Isioma noticed that things were a bit awkward. Sometimes Ugo is calm, very polite, gifting her designer's item. And other times, Ugo is just being a boutique in nature and adoring her with words. She was asking herself, does Ugochukwu suffer bipolar disorder? Then she had not yet realized that she was into the two boys. She was with Ugochukwu and Ugobueze at the same time. She had not even realized. They always had a meeting point. There was never a point of exchanging phone number. She was okay with meeting them whenever. When she had realized that they were two different people was when Ugobueze asked her for her number while they were having dinner one day. He quickly smiled and said, you know I don't have your number and we've always hung out. Someone was shocked. She was like, is this person okay? But she quickly gave out the number. When she got home that day, she had realized that the numbers were not the same. When she told her friend Chika said probably they are twins. And Isioma said, if they are twins, how come none of them had said anything? And Chika said, had any of them told you to be their girlfriend? Had any of them done that? Isioma said, not yet, but I feel like I and Ugo, one. She did not even know who was Ugochukwu or Ugobueze. When they had met her, they told her that their name was Ugo. So she just knew them as Ugo 1 and Ugo 2. She felt that she had gotten to that level of being a girlfriend with Ugo 1, who was Ugochukwu. But gradually, Isioma started playing the baby girl life. She knew how to manipulate her ways in their life. Whenever she wanted to hang out with Ugo 1, being Ugochukwu, she made sure that Ugo 2 wasn't even around that vicinity. She played her card well. Ugochukwu was very good at adoring her with words. He was very good at calling her sweet name. Asampete, Akwanwa, my tomato juice. And Isioma will respond with, Ugo, please, all these things for me, all these your sweet words. And even whenever he was in a good mood, he was going to get her beautiful and luxurious gifts, ranging from Gucci wristwatch to Louis Vuitton hair tie, Balenciaga bag, sweet, good gifts. She enjoyed it all. But whenever she was with Ugobweze, it felt totally different. He wasn't even into the boutique kind of praising a woman with words. He was very, very direct. How was your day? How do you do? How is everything? How is business going? What are we having for lunch? Do you want a glass of wine? Very, very straightforward. He was totally different from his brother when it comes to the attitude. Yes, they liked the same thing and hated the same thing, but when it comes to their attitude, their manner of approach when it comes to their woman, it was different. Ugobweze acted more like an Englishman. Very, very straightforward with everything he was doing. She already knew that they were two different people, but she was going out with both of them. She was enjoying it, having fun playing her cards well. Any weekend Ugochukwu wanted to hang out with her, she would make sure Ugobweze did not want to hang out with her that weekend. If not, she was going to claim she was going to a friend's place. At some point, she preferred Ugobweze over Ugochukwu. Not because they were not doing the same thing or they were not caring for her, but she felt she enjoyed Ugobweze's space more. Not because he acted like an Englishman, but he was always showering her with gifts. And not just that he was showering her with gifts, he was always taking her to the latest restaurants, beautiful places. When it comes to Ugochukwu was still a bit skeptical, a bit reserved about her. He was very, very careful. He wasn't even certain. As much as he had met her first, he wasn't into showcasing her to the whole world yet. He wanted to be sure. So he was not always taking her to various places. He took her out, basically lunch dates when he was free and doing weekend dinner dates, but not like a regular going out. Whenever Ugobweze was free and she was free, he decides to take her shopping or whatever. That was just the way he showed his kind of love. For Ugochukwu, he was more of a good listener. Whenever she was crying about something that had happened at work, her friend or whatnot, she goes to Ugochukwu, who is always willing to listen to her complaints and advise her properly. So she used them depending on what was wrong with her. If she was feeling sad, moody, someone to rely on, Ugochukwu was the one she goes for. If she needed to feel like a baby girl, spoiled, silly, go on a spa date, Ugobweze was the one she goes to. She was enjoying her life that way. Everything was going on well for her. In fact, she leveled up because she had it all. Everything. The sweet night text messages and whatnot. She was enjoying her life the way she wanted it to be. One fateful Saturday afternoon, Ugochukwu was talking to his brother Ugobweze, and for the very first time in a long while, he asked his brother about dating. After they mistakenly dated the same girl while in secondary school, they had promised never to talk about relationship because when that had happened, they both had to break up with the girl. So they had told themselves that they were not really going to talk about their relationship. In case anyone gets to meet the girl first and gets married to the person, it had no business with the other person. But this time around, Ugochukwu just decided to ask his brother, boy, how far? We're turning 30 soon. We should be thinking about marriage. Ugobeze smiled and said, I found one girl though. She's good, she's nice. And Ugochukwu said, really? Me too, I have someone in mind, though I'm still trying to observe her. You two, you know my kind of person. I don't just like jumping into anything serious. They both smiled about it, and Ugochukwu brought out his phone without hesitation and showed his brother Isioma's picture. Ugobeze was shocked. Are you sure? Ugochukwu smiled and said, which one is are you sure again? What's the matter? He said, that's the girl I'm dating. They both looked at themselves and said, not again. Ugobeze said, Ugochukwu, she's playing us. Ugochukwu said, what do you mean? Ugobeze said, this is not secondary school where we'll say we don't have a phone, they are identical, they wear the same clothes. Ugochukwu, we don't even wear the same clothes, neither do we use the same perfume. At least we use similar perfume, but not the same. We don't even have the same phone number. So are you trying to tell me this lady does not have our both phone numbers? I can show you my receipts of everywhere I've taken her to. The gifts I've sent to her. That lady is playing us. Ugochukwu could not stop laughing because Ugochukwu was not someone that takes life too serious whenever he's with his brother. But outside his brother, everything is serious. He couldn't stop laughing. He was trying to understand the fact that Isioma knew that they were twins and had not even brought it up with any of them. Ugobeze is a very logical person, and he quickly started asking his brother, number one, we don't have the same phone number. I feel like at some point she would have figured out that we were twins, but she had never asked us. She had never even asked any question. We don't even have the same clothes. So are you trying to tell me this lady does not know anything? And he asked his brother, when did you meet her? Ugochukwu said, I met her February last year. So I've known her for, let's say, I've known her for a year, and Ugobeze couldn't stop laughing. So you've known her for 1 year and you've not even taken her serious. Said, yes, so you know how girls can be. You have to be very, very sure. Ugobeze said, I can sing. And I just met her like 6 months ago. They smiled about it and said, okay, to be sure, let's just be sure. Let's be sure this lady is playing us. What is going to happen is that we'll try and figure out a way. We'll play our cards well. I'll tell you what we'll do. And if she falls into it, then we'll know that she's playing us. So one fateful afternoon, while Ugobeze was having lunch with Isioma, they were really having a good conversation. His phone rang and it was his brother. And he picked up the phone and quickly said, hello, how far? Ugo, how is everything? Isioma kept her ears down. She really wanted to hear what they were saying. And Ugobeze quickly said, yes, so I'm around that 360 cuisine in GRA Axis. Are you coming? If you're coming, be fast, I'm almost done with my lunch. Isioma listened carefully. She was just smiling to herself. And the moment Ugobeze was done with the phone call, she quickly told him that she needed to use the restroom. The moment she left to go use the restroom, she did not return. Isioma ran from there because she did not even want Ugo, one, to meet her, to go to. She already knew they were twins, so she was trying to avoid talk. And guess what? That call was a fake call because Ugochukwu was not even coming around. He was in the office trying to figure out something. They had planned it ahead of time. After Ugobeze waited for a while and did not see Isioma, he called his brother and he could not stop laughing. And he had explained exactly what had happened. Ugochukwu smiled. Ugobeze said, you see, I told you that she is playing us. She already knew. She already figured it out for herself. And they went on to plan number 2. On a very beautiful sunny afternoon, on a Saturday, Ugochukwu called Isioma and quickly told her that he was going to take her to somewhere beautiful that he wanted to take her out. Isioma had dressed her best. She wasn't even certain where they were taking her to. And while they were in the car, she noticed that they were not going to somewhere familiar like a restaurant or anything. Ugochukwu said, I wanted to introduce you to my family. I wanted you to get to meet them. You know, we've known for a while. At least let's take things to the next level. Isioma was trying to understand what was going on here. Family. Why? But you've not even said we're a thing. You've not even engaged me and you're talking about family. She started thinking of what to do, what to say. And all of a sudden, she looked at Ugochukwu. She was already sweating all over. Ugochukwu asked her, are you okay? Why are you sweating? She said, no, I'm not fine. I'm having cramps. I'm having serious cramps. And Ugochukwu said, do you want us to cancel? Isioma said, yes, let's cancel. Let's cancel. Can you just take me back? The moment Ugochukwu left, Isioma stood up straight, smiled on herself and said, can you imagine this woman being? It's not only family. Family. When I'm still trying to know who I'm going to date among you two, whether it's your brother or you. I beg you. When I figure it out, then I will now know who I'm going to follow to the family house. Please. And while she was going home, Ugobueze had called her. And she picked Ugobueze's call. Ugobueze asked her how she was and what she was doing. She said she was fine. And she was not doing anything. Ugobueze had suggested that they go out. Isioma quickly told Ugobueze where to pick her up. Ugobueze picked her and decided to take her to his house for the very first time. Isioma was surprised, but she was moved by his action, being that Ugochukwu had not even taken her to his house before. And the moment they got to the house, Ugobueze brought out 2 glasses of wine, and while they were drinking, the doorbell rang. Isioma looked at him and said, who is that? He smiled and said, don't worry, it's a delivery. You know, I don't know how to cook, so I had ordered food. And lo and behold, Ugochukwu was the one that came in with the food. And the moment Ugochukwu entered, he quickly asked his brother, how far? How is everything? He said, your girlfriend is coming over. Is she here? Let me greet her. Isioma was already sweating. She did not even know what to say. It felt like the ground should open and swallow her up. She was really, really angry, confused, but she tried to put her acts together. And the moment Ugochukwu came in with his brother Ugobueze, they sat down. Ugobueze looked at Isioma and said, Isioma, meet my brother Ugochukwu. Ugochukwu, meet Isioma, my girl. And they smiled at themselves without saying anything. Ugochukwu looked at her and said, you look like my girlfriend, you know. Isioma said, really? Wow, that's nice. I never knew that people tend to look alike. Ugochukwu said, no problem. And he turned and looked at his brother and said, I'll be inside. After Ugobueze and Isioma were done having dinner, Ugochukwu came out of the room and said, let me call my girlfriend and know where she is. Probably we'll just get to hang around and talk. It's weekend. So he brought out his phone and called Isioma. Isioma tried her possible best to end the call, but it rang out. And they both looked at her and said, pick your call, your phone is ringing. Isioma was confused. She smiled and said, it's nothing important, you know. Don't worry about it. They said, no, pick your call, your phone is ringing. And Isioma picked the call and said, hello. And the moment she said hello, she ended it. Ugochukwu looked at her and said, so how long are you planning to do this? So you already figured out that we were twins and you were playing us both. Isioma knew she had been caught. She smiled and said, I never knew. And the boys laughed out seriously. You never knew. So what did you save my name with? And what did you save his name with? Can you show us? Just for clarification, we are not going to harm you here. We just want to know. Isioma smiled and said, okay, good, fine. You figured it out. So what do you want me to do? Ugu 1 and Ugu 2. Yes, I knew you, but we're not the same. I had figured it out from the way you spoke. You're erotic in nature. He's very calm. He's very gentle the way he speaks. You're a good person for someone to talk to. You're a bit consoling. He's very straightforward and a very good critic. Yes, I figured it out. And obviously I just wanted to know who among you was going to take me serious. I've known you for a year. Closely getting to 2. You've never said anything serious. I've known him for barely 6 months, but he sounds more serious and genuine than you. It's a mistake on my part, but I was only doing it to find out who was the best person for me, and that's just it. She picked her bag and left. But the moment she got home, she started crying. She cried. Because deep down, she really wanted to be with Ugobueze. He seemed like the perfect man for her. He had clicked all her boxes. Yes, he was being strict and straightforward, but she could come around with it. Her friend Shika had told her, I warned you. When you're dating twins, it's like dating two friends. They will always find out. I told you to end it with one of them. If you had ended things with one of them, then you would have been safe. You would have played safe. You would have just said, oh, when I figured out, I ended it with the one I don't like. Hey, that person can deal with the guilt. But no, you wanted to be sharp and wise. You wanted to play smart. And no, you don't even have any, because none of them is going to agree with whatever you have to say. You were playing them for all they care. Whereas for which kind of boys, they smiled and made up their mind not to even take it serious. They had made up their mind to try to get to know another lady, at least someone who was going to take them serious. And they had also promised that the moment they find a lady, they were going to state the fact that they were twins, so that such scenario wasn't going to repeat itself. Thank you for listening to the story of the day. Please, I would like you to share your thoughts on this one. Do you think Isioma would have ended things with one person the moment she found out that they were twins? Or do you think that Isioma really wanted to play them? Just share your thoughts. And if you've experienced such scenario, be it twin brothers or friends, probably you were dating someone and his friend because you didn't want to put all your eggs in one basket, only to get caught up in the mess. Share your thoughts, share your feelings, share everything. I would like to hear your story. So we'll see you again in our next story. We'll still remain your favorite storyteller, Zika. Please, I would like you to please watch our stories to the very end. Like, comment, subscribe, share to your loved ones. So we'll see you again in our next story. Bye for now.